Well, here we are, Big Daddy and Friends, and I am so excited. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I don't even know what the words I could use, but everyone that's watching and listening, please welcome Andy Reid, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Big Daddy, man. I appreciate being on. Appreciate all that you've done for me over the years too.
Well, you know what? We always talk about one of the stories that we bring up on the show is how we met. And that's how I always tell every individual guest that comes on how we met. And, you know, there's two parts to this. And I don't know if you remember. One was obviously I had the clothing line, Big Daddy Gear, which was right down the street from your old Philly office.
That's right.
And then also at the Pro Bowl, remember there was an issue where Reebok fumbled the ball. They didn't send over whatever they're supposed to send over. And you saw me in the lobby and you saw me with all these boxes. And you were like, Big Daddy, bring some of that to my room. And the guys at the league really loved me because they were like, what are you doing giving the head coach? And I'm like,
it all fit.
Yeah, I'm like,
it was big.
Following orders. That's it. That's all I said. So, but you know, it's we've known each other a long time, and you know, Tammy is great. I always tell everybody the story about her card, how it says the head coach of the head coach.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'll never forget that, and I even have it in my phone. I have her number, so I get a kick out of it. But
yeah, she keeps asking for a raise. I don't know, man.
you keep winning these Super Bowls. You know, the price goes up. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but anyway, a lot of people ask questions, and I always allow the fans to come in and ask. So, and they're kind of questions that have nothing to do with really sports. They have to do about you. So, one question that I was asked was, when's the last time you had your mac and cheese recipe? Have you upgraded it? Have you updated it? What have you done with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, the mac and cheese, it didn't need too much upgrading. It's pretty good.
Got it.
Yeah, I've kept it pretty status quo. You know, as long as my waistline keeps growing with it, I figure it's pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta try that one day. You know, I've been fortunate to have Spags' wife's cooking, and you know, she could cook up
spectacular.
I'm like, one time she had it before a Giants game when he was in New York, and pregame I ended up walking around the field like 7 times, and everybody's like, Big Daddy, what are you doing? I'm like, I just ate like I went to the chair, so I got to walk this off because I'm having a hard time breathing.
No, she is spectacular now, man.
No, yeah, she is great. And
she can really cook.
So anyway, growing up, your Super Bowl, what would you say is your favorite Super Bowl moment?
For myself?
Outside of coaching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this sounds kind of corny, but I was a huge Chiefs fan because of Mike Garrett when I was growing up. I was a big SC fan. I grew up right downtown Los Angeles area. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Mike Garrett was like a hero. He played in LA City League. You know, my brother was in LA City League and that whole deal. So, it was great. It was great to watch the Chiefs early. I was also a huge Ram fan. So, and when they eventually got to the Super Bowl, that was a great thrill. But to that point, I was always watching. I was watching the Chiefs, and I was lucky enough to work here. So it even added to it.
Got it. So, you know, obviously the question that probably comes up 1,000 times, but I condensed it down to simple English. What is probably the biggest challenge? What has been the biggest challenge this year in regards to defending your title?
Yeah, well, we've had a few obstacles just with the COVID part of it.
Yeah.
But I think if you really said what's the biggest challenge, it's the other teams in the NFL. I mean, they're so good. There's so much parity in this league, and it was all neutral for all of us starting off here with no training camp or anything. We're coming in and you're seeing some of these new coaches. I mean, you look at the coaching that took place, the players believing in the coaches. You look at these teams that had new coaches and no offseason. I mean, they're still competing. we played Carolina, and I'm going, geez, I mean, they play us right down the wire, and it was just my hat goes off to the effort that went into making this game, continuing to make this game great, even during these times, and the discipline by the players to stay safe and keep themselves COVID free. And you're fighting the invisible man when you're trying to do this thing. So it's a tough fight when you can't see it, and you bank on the protocol, and even then sometimes it sneaks in on you. So
I know that all too well. It happened to me last year after the combine.
Yeah.
After the combine, I came home, and you would have thought, and I know your facility, so think about me walking out of the front door and walking over to the field. That walk would have taken me an hour.
Jeez.
Because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what's wrong? And all of a sudden I went to get checked out, and the guy goes, you ain't going home. And I'm like, why not? He goes, you either have pneumonia or you have COVID. And I was like, ugh. So 3 times I got tested, came out 2 times negative, the 3rd time positive. Mm-hmm. And to make matters worse, I had Sean Hannity on Fox tell everybody to wish me good luck while I was sitting in the hospital. So
the phone was blowing up. Yeah.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I wasn't watching it, but when I got up, my phone was on the floor, and I'm like, why is it down there? And it was from the vibration. It took it off the table, and I just didn't answer it. But, I definitely understand that fight with COVID and how it affects people and all that. But, getting back to last season, it was kind of funny when, I do the Fox and Friends piece. I really wanted to make it something different. So I went out of my way, and I ended up getting Rydell to give me helmets, and I put them on the set. And I remember before we went on, one of the hosts said to me, Big Daddy, you're picking winners of Super Bowls haven't been that great. He goes, are you sure you really want to pick the Chiefs? I said, I'm so sure about it that you're going to hand me the helmet as I'm making my prediction. So, and I think I sent it to your wife. Yeah. I'll have to send it to Teddy from last year. And it was so funny because he hands me the helmet, and I said, yeah, they're going to win. They're going to win. I said, look, I'm a little biased. My heart is with Andy and with a lot of people on that staff that I'm very friendly with and know a long time.
Sure.
As far as San Francisco, I don't know. I don't care if this is where I'm going. And the response I got after you guys won, I think was like, go buy a lottery ticket, Big Daddy, because you never pick a winner.
Too funny. I'm glad you picked us up.
Yeah, and then I'm like laughing because afterwards I'm like, hey, I'm hanging out with Coach and Pitbull. I was fortunate to go to the party.
How great was that?
Oh,
that guy had unbelievable energy, didn't he?
Oh, my God. It was obviously the atmosphere was incredible. Everybody's happy, winning, and all that fun stuff. So that was I was so honored again to be there, be invited, and be a part of that. And kudos to you and the whole team because that was great. And I'm going to go out on a limb now and say it that I believe you guys are going to win on Sunday again, and I'm pulling for you. So
I appreciate you, man.
So I will do the segment on Sunday again. I have the helmet is en route to me. It will be here tomorrow, and I'm actually going to wear a Chiefs sweatshirt.
Oh, I like it.
Is being sent to me, and I'm going to go all out and call it again the way I see it, and I'm behind you 100%.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. You're a good man.
Listen, I don't forget where I came from. I always remember my friends, and right or wrong, everyone's a friend of mine until proven guilty, so to speak. And I'm excited to see you guys let it rip and get it going out there. So.
Yeah. Well, we finish up this week of practice. We'll be ready to rip. We got to take care of business. Make sure we've got we go through the process here because the Tampa Bay sure has a good football team. So we got to get ourselves ready to go.
This is the first Super Bowl I'm not attending. I think it's been a while. I think I've gone 23, 24 in a row. I believe it's been.
How well is that? That's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like I'm going to be watching it on TV. It's going to be funny.
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. We have to live with that and deal with the times. The one thing I always ask the guests before I let them go, Coach, is I'd like you to ask me a question. Tell me something, ask me something that maybe you want to know, or maybe you don't know, or.
Yeah. So tell me how Big Daddy started. How did the clothing business start?
Okay. It was kind of funny. I don't know if you remember Sandy Sandoval from EA
Yeah,
Sports.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Sandy came to me and said, hey, Big Daddy, these guys are starting a clothing company, and it's in Philadelphia, outside of Philly, and it's called Big Daddy Gear. He goes, you got to get in on this thing, because with all your contacts and everybody and okay, let me meet with them. We got together, boom, we went forward. And then obviously having all the free marketing with guys like you and Shaquille O'Neal and Tony Saragusa and Rex Ryan, all guys are, we had all the sizes. And the funniest thing was, I didn't know everything that was going on like in Philly, because the guys on your team back then, they were just going down there and they were loading up and everybody was getting whatever. And I'm like, wow, we have a really strong presence in Philly, until I found out that the warehouse was there. I wasn't aware of that.
Right.
Then, okay, got it. So then that whole thing came into play, and we started growing little by little. But the problem was the timing, because we went up against Sean John and Fubu, where they had these celebrity guys that, had endless amounts of financing, and we didn't. So we were a small mom and pop, but we were able to make a dent because of, the relationships that I had. And then we brought in Mo Lewis for the Jets at the time. And then all of a sudden we were going to the big shows, and guys like Shaquille O'Neal would come over and be like, Big Daddy, I want you to get me 3 boxes of 4X tall and bring it to my room. Over when it was called the Magic Show, was in Vegas. And I'm like, aren't you here with your own clothing? And he goes, yeah, but I like your stuff, because everybody calls me Big Diesel and Big Poppy and all this other. I'm like, all right, as long as you wear it and I can take a picture of you wearing it, we're good. And he was fine with it. And that's how the Big Daddy clothing line started. Unfortunately, we financial issues came up, and then every partner that was involved had different views. And, when you have 6 partners, you're never going to get everybody to agree.
Sure.
Whereas if you have 1 or 2, then you have a better chance of making it happen. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
So that's the Big Daddy Gear. But you know what? May come back out with something else soon. And, you're always on my mailing list.
I appreciate it, man.
So,
no, that was comfortable stuff, I'll tell you. That was great stuff.
That was, I missed that stuff. The only thing I have left is I do have, and I'm going to show it to you. Make sure I don't fall in my seat. This is the last thing I have.
Oh, there you go.
The last thing. Anything Big Daddy Gear related is this hat.
How about that?
Yeah. And somebody mailed it to me and said, hey, do you remember this? And I was like, yeah, I love those hats. I love those, everything they had, everything. So anyway, Coach, I'm going to say again, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited I'm going to brag about this interview.
Wow. I appreciate you, man.
No,
be safe. And
you too, and go down there and bring home the trophy. And again, to all the fans that are out there, thanks for watching and listening on Big Daddy and Friends. And remember, watch that game on Sunday and go Chiefs. So until I see you next time, Coach, I don't know when that'll be, because these times are different. And, by the way, Jimmy wanted me to make sure. He said good luck, and he sends his best as well.
Jimmy's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself. So anyway, until next time, Coach, go down there, go get him, and thank you again for everything.
All right, man. Be safe, man.
All right, you too, Coach. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.